What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Welcome into a brand new series that we are going to be running before the launch of Don Bradman Cricket 17. It is the 5-5 World Cup. So basically we're doing it in the World Cup format, but we are just doing it 5 overs aside. So going to run this, as I said, till Don Bradman 17 comes out. If it is successful, we might look at doing a 5-5 Big Bash League or something similar. But we're going to get straight into it. So we're going to play through all our games. The only thing with this, it is quite strange, is that they don't have all the games in the same country. So, for example, we are playing Bangladesh, but we're playing at Chittagong rather than playing in Australia or New Zealand. But that doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. Let's just go and jump straight into the game. So, as we can see, we are going to be New Zealand. And I actually have, I believe, a 5-5 lineup already. So, we're going to just go in our T20 T20 uniform and go and get ready. So we will run through just the, how it all works and stuff like that. What I will do from the next episode is we won't have all this stuff at the start. This is basically just here to show you guys, what is going on and what is happening. So as we can see, we've got a pretty stock standard side. Latham, Guptill, Williamson, Ross Taylor, Connell Munro at number 5, BJ Watling is our wicket-keeper batsman at 6. We've got Jimmy Neesham at 7, Neil Wagner at 8, and not actually playing a spinner because I cannot use spinners in this game. So we've got Wagner, Bracewell, Southey, Bolt, and obviously Neesham as our bowling options. So it'll be very interesting to see how things do go along. Now, I could have used a bit of a throwback New Zealand side, I could say, and that's something that possibly, I might do later on in this game. The one good thing Don Bradman does have going on for it is that it does have a lot of, like classical teams. Like we could possibly do a 90s tournament, depending on how many teams from the 90s there are, 80s or 90s, something like that. Do a throwback tournament, a classic tournament. As you can see, both Tom Latham, I think I have played some 5-5 games with Martin Guptill, but don't quote me on that. I could potentially be wrong, and I don't know why Guppy is actually walking out to the middle batting left-handed, because he is definitely a right-handed batsman. But it is Tommy Latham who is going to be taking the first ball, and we are here, we are into it. So a lot of people have said that I don't really do enough bowling and just fielding as a team, which a lot of people do want to see. They want to see a lot of fielding. I get heaps of comments all the time basically saying, Cliffy, can you do a bit of fielding? There's another nice shot from Tommy Latham. Is just going to be the one this time though. But a lot of people have said, can you do some fielding? Can we see some fielding? Can we just see some gameplay, etc, etc? So that's what we're going to do. Do have a lot of people asking for a wicket-keeping career mode as well, so I'm not too sure how that would work, but it might be something possibly that I look at doing in Don Bradman 17. But really all I am looking for here is just to go through, play through, have a bit of fun in this 5-5 World Cup, score some runs and try and just get, just score some runs, get some wickets. And as I said, this is almost just a gap filler until Don Bradman 17 does come out. But if it is successful and it does get the views and the likes that we are after, then it may possibly continue, maybe even on Don Bradman 14. Like when Don Bradman Cricket 17 comes out, I've had a few questions about this as well. A lot of people are like, Cliffy, what is going to happen to the career modes that you do already have? And I'm not going to go and completely chuck them to the side by any stretch of the imagination. They are still going to be there, but probably a lot less frequent. So majority of the stuff is going to be Don Bradman 17 content, as you would expect, both career mode, and that's a nice shot from Guptill. We will just take the one because it's a good bit of fielding down there. But yeah, a lot of people have been saying what is going to happen, and it definitely is not going to go away because all these career modes now, especially the ones that are doing my PS3, they have a lot of meaning to me. They've been around for a long time. I think it was possibly Wednesday's video. I think we notched up like 144 episodes on my career. So it has had a lot of time and energy and effort spent on that career mode series. So it is very hard for me just to go and toss it away like it, it didn't exist or something similar to that. So they are still going to be there. However, they are going to be a lot. Tommy Latham, what are you doing? But they are going to be a lot less frequent. We just tried to guide that one down to third man, but got it a little bit close to Mushfiqur Rahim, and he has gone and taken the catch there. So in now comes Kane Williamson, and 1 for 13 off 1.2 overs. It is really hard to judge in these games here, in these 5 over games. Really, what is a competitive score? You know, what do you want to go out and try and achieve? And personally, myself, I think probably 10 and over is about the target that you want to go for. With the batting lineup that we do have kind of a longish tail, but our tail is very aggressive. So they're very big into their stroke play and very into their big hitting, their big boundaries, which, you know, in this format of the game is absolutely key. We've gone through some big hitters. Ross Taylor in next, obviously. Colin Munro, probably one of the biggest hitters going around the New Zealand domestic circuit at the moment. I'm not 100% sure if he has actually been included into the one-day squad that is touring Australia for the Chapel Hadleys. I'm not sure if he's in there. I'm gonna guess that he is. He's definitely in He's definitely in the T20 squad. He is really, I'd say probably a T20 specialist. It really depends on who is available, I think, for the one-day internationals as to whether he would play. We finish off nicely there with a boundary off the last ball. The fielding restrictions now should be done, but Bangladesh have stuck with a pretty aggressive field, and they now do have Shakib Al Hassan coming in and really slowing up, and spin might be the way to go here on this wicket. We can already see a few footmarks and a few patches on the pitch that could potentially make it quite difficult to bat on, but we are just going to have to wait and see. At the moment, we're just picking out that man there. Williamson, 2 off 4, but we don't want to go out for a slog because I don't think really that is what we need to do in this situation. We are already at a very good run rate. And we just need to keep going. That is what I tried to do with Tommy Latham, but didn't quite get the timing. We have got it here with Williamson, though, and he picks up his first 4 of the innings. So we move to 24 for 1 off 2.3 overs. So we are now at the halfway stage, and we are going to look to go and try and bang in some wickets. Sorry, not some wickets. Going to try and bang in some boundaries here and get some boundaries towards the back end of the game. I think the field has changed now. We do have a deep cover out there along with a man down the ground at long off. So we'll take that single. Again, a pretty good over. We've got 9 off the first 5 balls, and Guptill now in. And with a field like this, we know where Guptill's going. Head down, down the ground. That is exactly what you expect from Martin Guptill. That is just absolutely perfect. We get the 50 XP for hitting the sight screen as well, boys, and that is a 95 metre 6, so a big one from Guptill. And when the fielders are up like that, I'm just going to honestly go for it. That is such a high scoring area for me, is down the ground. We've got 2 players there on the edge of the 30-yard circle now. So we're just going to go continue to use that pace. The left arm spin, the angle and the pace is enough for us to just run it down to third man. We're looking at getting a good score here. Remember, I was saying about 50 would be pretty par. At the moment, we're looking as though we are going to get past that 50, especially with Guptill on strike. He is smashing it, 19 off 8 so far to date. And Williamson not too far behind him. I think he is 16 off 9. And I'm just going to start going for it with Guptill, especially with the left arm spinner coming in, just the angle that he's bowling. There doesn't seem to be much turn on the track either, and they do have 2 men inside the circle on that offside, so it is very easy pickings to just go through that gap. That one there, not timed as well, tried to play it along the ground, aggressive ground shot, but we have moved on to 47, so we are doing very, very well in this situation here. Deep extra cover going back for Williamson. Oh God, I'm going to run myself out. Whew! I did not expect that man to be there, and just going for the reverse sweep, I thought it was going to be fantastic, but not the case. But we do still keep that wicket intact, and that's a better shot there from Guptill through the covers. That's something we've come accustomed to seeing Cliffy hit, and that one there has gone for a 4. Guptill moves to 30 off just 11 deliveries, and we've got 1 over left to go, and already, I believe, 50 runs, 52 runs on the board. Now we've got a bit of a changed field, which is what you would expect at this stage. You really are trying to go and build up those dot balls, and there have been few and far between of those. I think 3 of them have gone to Williamson. Guptill, I don't think has faced a dot ball to date yet so far. And Williamson here, 2 now in a row. If we're playing indoor, this would be 3rd ball, and I'm just trying to look really where we can go. If it's on the legs, if it's on the pads, it's just going to go and get taken away because there is no cover back on the leg side at all. There's 3 men inside the ring. So all we got to do is just get a bit of bet on it, and it probably is going to go the distance. So 56 now, 3 balls left to go. What is going to be a competitive total on this pitch? It is, as I said, it's very hard to judge with 5 over games. I mean, you can go out, someone can go out and just have an absolute blinder, like Guptill has here today, striking at just under 300. You know, or you can go out and lose your wickets very cheaply as well. Now, this is a strange field. A mid-on, a straight-on, and a deep forward mid-wicket. So 3 men out on the boundary on that side. And I was going to say, when you're bowling like that, you do not want to be bowling on the pads so it can be tucked around the corner. It is only 1. It does mean that Guptill does get the last ball. So what he will do with it, we will have to go and find out. But not quite 60 on the board. But Guptill's going to go for it anyway. He loves it down the ground. That is his specialty. And he picks up a 6 to finish off. He does finish with a strike rate of 300 and the 50 partnership for the Kiwis as well. So they're going in with over 60 runs on the board. 65 to be precise. Bangladesh needs 66 runs off just 5 overs. So this is going to be a very, very tough ask for them. Tamim Iqbal and Mahmood Haq coming into the middle. And it is Tim Southee who is going to be starting things off for us. And we're going to go pace defence 9 seems to be the field that I'm rocking with at the moment. If anyone is struggling for defensive fields, then I definitely recommend taking on pace defence 5. It does seem to get the job done. Sorry, pace defence 9. It does seem... It just covers all bases for me. For example, you've got that man down the ground. I think there's a man at cover, and there is also a man at fine leg, because it seems to be, not so much now, but I think, you know, before pre-patches, that there did seem to be a few, not issues, but players just seem to either sweep or do a very late cut, as we saw ourselves do a couple of times in the innings. Seem to do very late cuts down to third man and to fine leg, and it was quite easy for them. But this has been a good fielding display so far from the Black Caps. Just 2 runs off the first 4 balls for Bangladesh, and they are going to need to look to start going for some big hits very shortly. Otherwise, it is going to be a bit difficult for them. There's the first one. That is the first ball for Bangladesh. 6 off 6. They're going to run a ball, but that is nowhere near enough in this format. You need to be going basically a boundary every second ball. Otherwise, you are going to be struggling. And I believe that there is a catch. It's been edged behind by Tamim Iqbal, and that is a very good catch by BJ Watling, diving forward to take that one. And that tees the score. Go to 6 for 1 off the first over. Southee successful in his first over of the game. Sorry, this is Mahmood Haq coming in now, so I'm not sure who the other one is who is batting, but we now go to Trent Boult, so the left armour. This is going to be a bit different because I'm not really used to bowling with left armours and just the angle that they go and produce, but it's not terrible, and I am going to have to get used to it pretty quick because there are 2 left armers that we do have in this New Zealand bowling attack, obviously with Boult and Wagner coming in, so it could have been 3 if we went for Corey Anderson, but not the case. We have gone... Ooh, so I was going to say that's a nice ball from Boult first up, but it has been controlled a little bit, I believe, by Mahmood Haq, and he has gone and picked himself up a 4, very first ball. But again, 15 runs needed, so that is... I was trying to work out my maths, but it just wasn't working. I was going to say you basically almost need... I don't know. I was going to say 3 a ball, but it's not 3 a ball. It's about 2.5. I think it is 2.5 a ball. So now basically anything that is not a boundary is a win almost for us. That one there, played down the ground, and that is that man that I'm talking about, boys. He does go and get the job done, and I believe that is Martin Guptill, who, again, is a specialist down there in the power play overs down the ground. Such a live wire in the field. And all of a sudden, Bangladesh 2 down, and things are starting to look quite easy here for the Kiwis, as they've got Bangladesh 2 for 13 in this first game of the 5-5 World Cup, and that one there has tied them up, so we will definitely take that, but you just need to go and continue, keep doing what we're doing. 16.73 now, so almost 17 runs and over required, and that is really not what you want to be bowling on the pads, and that has just helped on its way over the security barrier, and that is an 89 metre 6, boys, and that is a good finish for the Bangladeshians. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to go Nisham, just because I'm a firm believer of, especially in tight games like this, that there's no point going and saving someone like Neesham. Not that I'm saying that they are going to go and get close in this game, but I prefer to have those more experienced bowlers, especially when there are still a lot of runs left to get, is to use more of the part-time guy earlier on. So it is a bit different, because completely different story if Bangladesh, say, off these last 3 overs only needed, let's say, for example, 20 runs, which in 5-5 cricket would be very gettable. What I would do in that situation is I would definitely go with the likes of Bracewell and Wagner, the out-and-out bowlers, and try and create that pressure to allow, Neesham to come in and maybe have 10 to defend off his last over. But he hasn't started off very well here at all. He's gone for 6 off his first 3, and here's the fielding. So we have seen a couple of catches, which is good, because it's something that we don't often see in our career. Normally it is just bowled in LBWs that we get. So it is nice to see some outfield catches, and even a catch by the wicketkeeper, because a lot of the times when I am bowling, specifically in my career at the moment, I am just bowling, and it's what I'm doing here, is I'm bowling slow balls, because I am trying to get that portion up of my skills. And that one there is another 6. So Neesham's gone for 14 off that over. That's a good one for Bangladesh. Not quite good enough, but it's still decent. It is still decent. Down to 33 needed off the last 12. And we're going to do exactly what Wagner does in real life here, folks. We are just going to pitch it in short, because that is such a Neil Wagner thing to do. It's almost brought a wicket first ball for that man out there at deep cover, but not the case. It has been taken to quite comfortably. So we just need to get this, as I said, a bit shorter. That is the perfect Neil Wagner line. The short, probably not the best idea to do, to be honest, with the field that we do have. We haven't switched off that pace. Oh, that's close to an LBW. I think it is possibly just going on to miss leg stump with the angle. No point doing a review, because I'm pretty confident that that's not out. But with this field, we have just stuck with pace balance 9 for the entire game. That one there is going to be rebowled. That's a big wide. That is a big wide. So that is not what we want to see. Still 28 off 9, so it's not completely out of the woods yet. 3 runs and over required. 3 runs a ball required, not an over. I was going to say, if it's 3 runs and over, Bangladesh should be absolutely cruising at this stage. But now it is getting a bit more difficult. 9-3. Basically, boundaries required from now on in. I don't know if this guy is going to get there. I think he is. They might still get 3, but that's a good arm. That is a great arm from whoever that is out on the boundary. Very, very good arm to keep that the way it is. So 26 off 7, and you have to say that is probably going to be enough for Dougie Bracewell to defend in his last over. But, it is cricket. Stranger things have happened. Couple of no balls. A no ball that goes for a 4, goes for a 6. And it is basically game on. So we had that first short one from Wagner, which didn't really work out to our liking. And we are now going to bring in Doug Bracewell with 25 left to defend off the last 4 balls. So they do need, at this stage, basically need some 6s. Dot balls are not going to do it for them. Not even 4s are going to do it for them. They're going to have to start hitting some boundaries. And it is almost getting to the stage where it is nearly impossible, bar for a wide or a no ball. So I was going to say, hopefully the fielder can chase this one down. I think that's Kane Williamson out there. So great work by the captain to keep that one down to 2. And I think that possibly, it almost has done enough. So they need 4 6s from this stage here. And that's not going to be the case. That one there bunted down the ground. They will get 2. But in the end, not enough. And that's a good throw. Almost a run out at the keeper's end. But not quite so. So 21, 7 required now. 7 a ball. So basically, anything that is... I was going to say, anything that isn't a no ball or a wide, I'm happy with. Because it means that Bangladesh aren't going to go and get there. 17 off 2. I'm going to bowl this one a bit quicker just to try and speed him along. And that one there, that was actually... quite quick, 142.5 for Dougie Bracewell, and 17 needed off the last delivery. So this is going to be a win first up in this 5-5 World Cup for New Zealand. And tell you what, we're going to finish with a wicket. You can't ask for much more than that. Bracewell, the final over, keeping Bangladesh under 50. So I think 50 probably is going to be about par in this tournament. I think anything more than that is going to be very hard to get. But 10 runs and over, definitely a doable target. We will have to wait to see. Obviously, Bangladesh probably one of the lesser teams in this competition in our group. But anyway, guys, first win up for New Zealand. We will definitely take that. I am going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been Cliffy, your King of Career Mode, signing out.